Have you ever had a dream so absurd that suddenly something inside you woke up like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. I'm dreaming. You're flying. Your dog starts giving you life advice in your grandmother's voice, and somehow it all feels normal until it doesn't. And then, boom, you wake up inside the dream itself. This isn't fiction. This is a lucid dream. Dreaming is one of the most enigmatic human experiences. Most of us live these nightly stories as spectators, but a lucid dream changes everything. You realize you're dreaming, and more than that, you can take control. The term lucid dream was first used by psychiatrist Frederick Van Eden in 1913, but the experience itself is much older. Greek philosophers and Tibetan masters spoke of it thousands of years ago. And today, science is finally beginning to understand what happens in the brain during those rare moments of lucidity in sleep. For decades, lucid dreaming was met with skepticism, but that changed in 1981 when researchers showed that lucid dreamers could perform pre-agreed eye movements, left, right, that could be measured in laboratories. These signals were the first objective evidence that someone can be conscious and acting with intent even during REM sleep, the phase where dreams are most vivid. The most fascinating part, the brain of a lucid dreamer seems to enter a hybrid state. EEG studies show increased activity in gamma waves in the brain's frontal regions, areas linked to metacognition, memory, and self-awareness. During lucid dreaming, these areas wake up within sleep. It's as if the brain is divided. Part is dreaming, part is aware it's dreaming. Research suggests this conscious activation isn't random, but the result of a neurological pattern that combines deep sleep with a sliver of internal wakefulness. And here's the curious part. Some people are more predisposed to this. Individuals with higher daytime activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region associated with reflective thinking, tend to report more lucid dreams. This suggests lucidity is not a one-off event, but part of a broader mental functioning style. Many people think lucid dreaming is just for fun, and honestly, it is. Flying, breathing underwater, exploring impossible worlds, all with full awareness, but it goes way beyond that. Studies show lucid dreams have real impacts on well-being. People who practice regularly report waking up happier, with a sense of accomplishment and even improved mood. But there's more. Lucid dreaming is being studied as a therapeutic tool. It can help with recurring nightmares, especially in people with PTSD. When someone realizes they're dreaming, they can change the dream storyline, facing fear without actual threat. Others use lucid dreams to develop skills. Athletes, for example, mentally train movements within dreams. Since the brain activates the same motor areas as in real life, dream practice can have effects similar to real training. In areas like creativity, memory, and problem solving, lucid dreams also show promising results. Many people report finding deep insights while lucid in dreams. Can you imagine resolving an emotional issue, finding artistic inspiration, or even rehearsing a difficult conversation in a lucid dream? Yep, that's real. Experimental therapies have used lucid dreams for this kind of emotional simulation with encouraging outcomes. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There are important risks and limitations. Constant practice of lucidity-inducing techniques can disrupt sleep, especially those that involve waking up in the middle of the night, like the wake back to bed (WBTB) method. Another delicate issue is the lucid nightmare. That's when someone realizes they're dreaming, but can't wake up or change the situation. This can cause panic, anxiety, and confusion. Additionally, overuse can lead to a kind of blurred line between dream and reality, especially in people with a history of dissociation or psychosis. So ideally, practice with moderation, self-care, and if possible, psychological support. Now that you understand what it is, how it works, and its benefits, you might be wondering, how do I do it? There are several methods, and some have scientific backing. Let's start with behavioral ones. Dream journal. Writing down your dreams upon waking increases recall and helps you spot recurring patterns, your dream signs. Reality checks. Throughout the day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Try pushing your finger through your palm or read something twice. In dreams, text often changes. Mnemonic induction. Before sleeping, say to yourself, next time I'm dreaming, I'll realize it's a dream. Visualize it happening. There are also technological methods. Devices that detect when you enter REM sleep and emit visual or sound cues, like flashing lights, to help you realize you're dreaming. And finally, pharmacological approaches. Ketamine, for example, is a supplement that boosts acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter linked to REM sleep. Combined with other techniques, it is shown to increase the likelihood of lucid dreams, but it must be used carefully and with guidance. And the most advanced method, wake-initiated lucid dream. Here, you try to go directly into a lucid dream without losing consciousness. It involves a delicate transition between wakefulness and sleep, paying attention to bodily sensations or internal sounds. It's difficult, but incredibly effective when it works. In recent years, scientists have run impressive experiments using visual or auditory cues during REM sleep. Some teams managed to establish real-time communication with lucid dreamers. Simple questions were asked, like, what is 8 minus 6? And dreamers responded with eye movements. Yes, two-way communication with someone who's asleep. This opens the door to a whole new type of consciousness research. But what's the difference between a lucid dream and a vivid dream? A vivid dream may be extremely realistic, with intense colors, strong emotions, and sharp details. But the person doesn't know they're dreaming. In a lucid dream, the person becomes aware, and that awareness changes everything. Even if the scenario isn't as vivid, lucidity is the key factor. From a neurochemical point of view, lucidity seems linked to a specific balance of neurotransmitters. Dopamine, which regulates motivation and attention, is generally elevated in people more prone to lucidity. Acetylcholine, involved in REM sleep, also plays a central role. The fine-tuning of these systems might be the key to unlocking more lucid dreams. The science of lucid dreaming is advancing. A recent neuroimaging study showed that people who frequently have lucid dreams exhibit greater connectivity between the prefrontal cortex and temporoparietal areas. This reinforces the idea that lucid dreaming involves elevated metacognitive functions, the ability to think about your own thinking. But it's not just neuroscience where lucid dreaming shines. Spiritual traditions, like Tibetan dream yoga, use lucid dreams for self-awareness, emotional training, and even preparation for death. The union of modern science and ancient wisdom shows us that lucid dreaming can be much more than a curiosity. It can be a path for inner growth, expanded awareness, and psychological well-being. So next time something really strange happens in your dream, take a deep breath, look at your hands, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Who knows? Maybe that little gesture opens a new dimension of your mind. Lucid dreams are an invitation to explore the mysteries of consciousness, not just as an experience, but as a tool to transform waking life. Are you ready to wake up inside your dream? Besides helping with well-being, lucid dreams are being studied in more complex clinical contexts. In people with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, lucid dreams have been investigated as a way to safely access repressed emotional content. Studies suggest that practicing lucidity during dreams can enhance one's sense of emotional control. This is directly related to the activation of frontal brain regions involved in self-regulation. Some research indicates that even when lucidity isn't achieved, just training to recognize dreams can increase metacognition, the ability to reflect on what you feel and think in and out of dreams. But here's an important warning. People with psychotic symptoms or dissociative episodes should avoid these practices without supervision. In some cases, the boundary between dream and reality may become blurry. Clinical use must involve professional guidance. Surprise, did you know there are people who have lucid dreams almost every night? In a study led by Benjamin Baird and Giulio Tononi, a rare group of individuals was identified who experienced 3 to 7 lucid dreams per week. For years, these individuals showed stronger brain connectivity between the prefrontal cortex and parietal regions as if they had more inner dialogue even during sleep. They also tend to have higher bodily awareness and strong prospective memory, the ability to remember to do something in the future, including remembering their dreaming while inside a dream. This is a future question. But such frequent lucidity raises questions. Could constant lucidity alter sleep's restorative function? We don't have conclusive answers yet, but it's a promising field in neuroscience. EEG and fMRI research has revealed that the brain, during a lucid dream, has unique patterns. For example, there is an increase in gamma waves above 30 Hz, mainly in frontal and frontolateral regions. This activity is associated with reflective consciousness and logical reasoning, two things rarely active in ordinary sleep. Additionally, functional MRI shows that brain areas linked to metacognition, like the frontopolar cortex, become more connected with temporoparietal regions, which help build our sense of self in dreams. These findings suggest that lucid dreaming is one of the few moments where we can study consciousness in a dissociated state, awake inside, asleep outside. Long before science, spiritual traditions from Tibet, India, and China already taught practices to cultivate dream lucidity. In Tibetan Buddhism, there's dream yoga, where the practitioner trains to remain conscious not only in dreams, but also in the states between life and death. These practices aren't about playing in dreams, but about cleansing mental patterns, working through emotions, and understanding the illusory nature of reality. Some traditions use lucid dreams as part of the enlightenment path of the West. Science is now beginning to pay more attention to these traditions. One of today's goals is to integrate ancestral knowledge with modern technology, creating safer, more effective, and respectful methods to explore the inner universe. Many artists, scientists, and inventors have reported brilliant ideas coming from dreams. And when the dream is lucid, that creative potential multiplies. Inside a lucid dream, you can create artwork, hear never-before-heard music, visualize inventions, all with a freedom the physical world doesn't allow. Studies show that people with more lucid dreams tend to have greater divergent thinking, the ability to find creative, unconventional solutions. Because of this, universities and innovation companies are beginning to explore lucid dreaming as a creative stimulation tool. Who knows, maybe in the future, we'll have idea incubators in our sleep. For at its core, lucid dreaming reveals something simple yet profound, that the human mind is capable of much more than we think. That consciousness isn't an on-off switch, it's a spectrum of possibilities. Sleeping, awake, or dreaming, our mind is always in motion, and the more we learn to observe it, the more we realize we're not victims of the stories it creates. We're co-authors, and sometimes directors too. If you've made it this far, maybe it's time to start a dream journal, or just look at your dreams with more curiosity, because within them might lie a key that doesn't just unlock the dream world, but your own inner world.